Hey, Ash.
Hey, Taryne.
It's been a while since we've done fun facts with Taryne.
Has it been?
Fun fact or fiction, whatever it's called. This one actually got my mind going.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that your nostrils only work one at a time?
No.
Listen to this. Listen. When we breathe in and out of our nose during the day, one nostril does most of the work at a time, with the duties switching every several hours. This is it's your nasal cycle. So every few hours it switches jobs. So when your nose gets stuffed up, it's usually one at a time, which is so true.
I was going to say that actually makes a lot of sense to me because some days I'm a mouth breather and some days I'm not. And that's because the left side of my nose doesn't work. It's not concave fully, but it doesn't work well. My right side, I feel does breathes well all the time.
Interesting.
I don't know.
Isn't that fascinating?
Very.
Wow. The human body is a wonder.
Oh my God.
Today's episode of Unsolicited Advice is brought to you by Simply Safe Home Security. Here at Unsolicited Advice, we believe home should be the safest place on earth for every family. That's why we use and recommend Simply Safe. Simply Safe is advanced home security that puts you, your home, and your family's safety first. And here's why we love it. The thing that always gets me about Simply Safe and makes it just the best option is it has 24/7 professional monitoring. Simply Safe's agents take action the moment a threat is detected, dispatching police or first responders in an emergency, even if you're not home. Monitoring plans are affordably priced at $1 a day with no long-term contract or hidden fees, because feeling safe at home shouldn't break the bank. You can customize the perfect system for your home in just a few minutes at simplysafe.com/advice. Go today and claim a free indoor security camera plus 20% off with interactive monitoring. Go to simplysafe.com/advice. Today's episode is brought to you by Indeed. When you want to improve your work life, you surround yourself with the best people you can find. So how do you find them? You need Indeed. Indeed is the hiring platform where you can attract, interview, and hire in all one place. Instead of spending hours on multiple job sites searching for candidates with the right skills, Indeed's a powerful hiring partner that can help you do it all. Find great talent faster through time-saving tools like Indeed Instant Match, assessments, and virtual interviews. With Instant Match, over 80% of employers get quality candidates whose resume on Indeed matches their job description the moment they sponsor a job, according to Indeed Data US. One of the things I think is so cool about Indeed is it saves you time. You can message, schedule, and interview top talent seamlessly all in one place. Join more than 3 million businesses worldwide that use Indeed to hire great talent fast. Sign up for Indeed now and get a $75 credit towards your first sponsored job. Plus, earn up to $500 extra in sponsored job credits with Indeed's virtual interviews. Visit Indeed.com/advice to learn more. Claim your credits at Indeed.com/advice. Indeed.com/advice. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed. Today's episode is brought to you by Best Fiends. You know, with how the world is, sometimes happiness is not always coming from within, and you need those things to just help spark some joy in your life. And I don't know about you guys, but for me, sometimes just getting lost in a game on my phone helps me to just calm down, reset, and then I'm ready to just attack the day. And each level that you defeat in Best Fiends just gives you that little burst of satisfaction. Once you download Best Fiends, you can play anywhere, even without an internet connection, which is great if you're stuck without Wi-Fi. Collect tons of fiends that get powered up as you play more levels. Every win brings new challenges, thousands of puzzles to play. With thousands of levels, there's always more to play, so go ahead and let enough never be enough. Download Best Fiends for free from the App Store or Google Play. Plus, earn even more with $5 worth of in-game rewards when you reach level 5. That's friends without the R. Best Fiends.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. I'm
Hello.
Ashley. That's Taryne.
How are you, Ash?
I'm doing so good. You know what I did yesterday for the first time ever?
What?
I didn't know I was doing this, but it happened. I went to my first 4D real D experience.
Oh.
I've never done one before. A riot. An actual riot. I had so much fun.
Wait, what? Describe.
So I went to go see Doctor Strange and didn't know that we got the 4D Real D experience tickets. It is a
you're
ride.
talking about the in a movie.
Yeah.
4D in a movie.
Yes. So I went to go see a movie, unintentionally bought these tickets.
The 4D.
Where the chairs
3D.
move and they vibrate and they go up and down. Yeah.
I didn't
and
know
they
that was a
shake
thing.
you. It sprayed water in my face.
What?
It was 3D. So I did not realize that this is where we were at with movies. I had no idea. I felt like I was on a Disney ride the entire time.
Bugs Life. Remember Bugs Life? At Disneyland, it does that where it shoots stuff at you and then the bugs are crawling under your seat.
Like
stuff
Honey, I Shrunk the Audience. Very similar, except the chairs actually move.
I didn't know that was a thing. Where did you go? What theater?
Regal.
What?
Yeah, it was. I was like, wow, these are pretty expensive. We got 2 tickets for $60.
Well,
and I was like, we were like, oh,
first
sure.
clue.
I must have been some really nice chairs. That's all I was thinking.
Wow.
And then, I did the full experience. And then, as with any Marvel movie, there's so much action. So the entire time, I had to take my earrings out because it was bouncing my head back and forth so much. Yeah, it was these earrings are kind of heavy. So I was feeling it.
Yeah. That affects you.
3 hours later in the movie, you're just like, oh my God, it was kind of a lot.
That's interesting.
I saw the trailer, one of the trailers for Maverick, Top Gun's Maverick.
Yes.
And I just in the trailer was like, I could never watch that movie in this seat because it was just nonstop moving.
Oh, the flying and stuff like that.
It was constant.
I feel like, there would be very specific types of movie that would be enjoyable versus you feel motion sick.
At least with Marvel, there's times where they're just sitting and talking and it's quiet for a bit, but when the fight scenes come, I was like, whiplash much.
Okay, so I heard I still haven't seen Doctor Strange, which I need to because that was one of my favorite Marvel movies.
That was my second time seeing it.
But I heard it's one of the most violent Marvel movies that's come out. Someone said they were kind of thrown off by the...
Obviously no spoilers, but it was dark and I didn't realize, or I didn't expect it to be dark.
Yeah, they said it was dark in a way that they were I was kind of freaked out.
Yeah, I don't think it was that scary. You can handle it, no problem. But I was surprised. I was like, oh,
interesting.
Sure.
Cool. What is my update?
No pressure.
Oh, I feel like I've been very obsessed with nesting, my apartment.
Oh, I was like, are we pregnant? Are we expecting?
I would have to be the Virgin Mary.
I wouldn't be shocked.
Modern day Virgin Mary. I feel like I've had my apartment for a few months now, but life has just been nuts, crazy busy. So every weekend I feel like there's something where I'm gone or I'm going to a music festival or going on vacation or going on a trip. So during the week, when I get home, I just want to chill and do nothing. So certain things, I'm still decorating. I'm still trying to find ways that things function right. And so I tend to get very... very into making sure that everything is super functional in the apartment and I get obsessed with it.
Yeah.
So I feel like I've been doing that a lot and things are definitely starting to feel complete now, which is exciting. So that's been kind of my life. I just want to dive in and so I can be done. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
So
I love that.
You'll have to come over again, Ash.
Oh.
See the spot.
I should come over and bake cookies.
I'm
on a cookie kick, people.
I would love...
Cookie kick.
You should show your recipe, make up your recipe and share it. People would love that.
Never.
No,
I probably will.
Nestle Tool House.
I'll run out of a reels.
Yeah, true that.
Watch next week. I'll be like, hey guys, just gonna share my
my cookie recipe.
On a real note, I'm at this place with social media. I kind of
what?
I don't want to say I hate it, but I'm not. I'm in an I'm over it phase right now, and we've all been there. I don't know. I'm just at a point now. I've been doing it for a long time.
Yeah,
almost 8 years. And
when you say hate, like you hate going on it, like it's affecting you in a bad way. You don't like
feel like
posting.
I don't even go on and scroll anymore.
I don't
really.
scroll. Yeah,
I don't even go
TikTok.
on and look at stories anymore. Yeah. Really, unless I'm on there to post for work.
Yeah,
you know, but I just feel like it's so stale and repetitive.
Well, you know why
I don't want to post anymore because I feel like I've done everything original that I have in my pocket that I am capable of. And then I feel like everything on social media is just so redundant. Like everyone's doing the same things. I'm tired of seeing your morning routine. I'm tired of seeing like your fitness outfit. Yeah. And I'm not saying I'm better than anyone else. I'm posting the same shit.
No, yeah.
But like I'm just in a weird place with work and posting and social media, and I haven't like intentionally taken time off, but I have backed off.
Yeah, I've noticed you backed off. And
I just feel weird about it.
I will say though, like I don't like scrolling anymore on Instagram because when I do scroll, it's all videos and it's all from platforms and sites that I'm like, why are you pushing this content so much? Like I don't even see people I follow's like photos or what they're up to. So I scroll for like 20 seconds and all I'm seeing is like 50 videos from Barstool Sports or also, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. At some point within the last 3 years, I feel like we went from there's a small group of influencers to now everyone's an influencer, which I'm not hating on.
No,
but that does mean you scroll through a lot of ads.
Yeah.
A lot of curated content, brand content, and I'm bored.
Yeah. I just miss like scrolling through and seeing like my friends' pictures of their weekend or their kids or their dog. Like everything is a video of something that I'm like, I feel like I'm on TikTok right now. I just want to see the select few people that I follow for a reason.
The algorithm is like forcing the same type of content, which I understand to a degree. Like I'm sure they're trying to figure out what content you like and they're trying to give that to you. Yeah. But also probably I think personally forgetting like what the purpose of this platform was to begin with. And I agree. I feel like, and I think it's a worldwide thing. I feel like a lot of people just aren't posting anymore because of the redundancy of posting. Yeah. And I'm one of those people that I've been sharing my life online for a really long time now. And I can't tell you the last time I saw something original. Yeah. Unless you're an actual artist or like photographer, it's all the same. Yeah. And I don't want to like sound like I'm hating on people. I'm putting myself in the same category. That's why I haven't been posting as much because I'm just like, I don't know what else to do anymore.
Yeah, you want to be inspired or like, just see. Well, I think it is. We want to see people's like their lives, like they're just like
authentic lives.
Things that go on day to day, not just like the same old. No, it's true. I feel that. I definitely don't scroll on Instagram, and so every once in a while, like someone, if I do see a post of someone's and like I'll go to their Instagram and I'll be like, oh my gosh, they've posted all these things, but I don't see any of that. Like I just literally my feed is always Barstool Sports, and it sucks because I like following some of the stuff they do, but it's gotten to a point where I'm like, I'm gonna mute you because
it's
for some reason that's all
Instagram
nonstop. Is pushing through. Like it's none of the people I actually follow. Mm-hmm. So it is weird. Wow, this was a tangent. But I love it.
But a good one.
But most people are like, oh my gosh, same.
Okay, let's go ahead and get into the Tearing It Up. You guys know we love a good funny story, and that's what Tearing It Ups are all about. So here is one that I think is going to give us a good little laugh. I'm not going to say the title because it gives away way too much.
Okay.
She is not anonymous. Her name is Kay.
Oh, okay.
She writes, Kay writes, I've complicated. Let me try that again. I've contemplated for a solid 5 minutes whether to say Ash and Taryne or Taryne and Ash. So I'll just go with this. Hi, girls. LOL.
Hey.
My name is Kay, and you are more than welcome to say it if this story gets chosen to be read for the podcast. I listen to UA nearly every night as I'm falling asleep. She adds in parentheses, weird? Maybe, but it helps. LOL. Sure.
I love that.
Whatever gets you to sleep.
Yeah, I love it.
My current thing is commercial airliner on the Calm app for sleeping.
Like it makes airplane noises?
Yeah. I used to listen to Rain religiously and have since then, for the last 5 months, listened to commercial airliner. A winner, guys.
I've heard people listen
second.
to there's dishwasher or dryer or stuff like that. I've never
So
thought
that's
about
why I
that.
like the commercial airliner, because it's a low hum with very subtle little beeps and kind of creaks and stuff. That's very much and when I'm on a plane, I'm so tired. I fall asleep so fast.
I knock out too.
It's so great. Okay, anyways, I don't think it's weird is what I'm saying. You were actually my most listened podcast in 2021. You've got a big fan on your hands over here. Taryne, your recent YouTube series has inspired me beyond belief to be more confident in my physical body and prioritize my mental health. So thank you both for being you.
I love that.
Now, on to my story. Some background info. As I mentioned, my name is Kay. I am a senior undergraduate student graduating this year. Whoop, whoop.
Get it, girl.
Majoring in dance education and early childhood education. I hope to teach in either pre-kindergarten, kindergarten, or first grade and incorporate creative movement and kinesthetic opportunities in my classroom. I heavily prioritize allowing children to express and indulge in their very natural physical energy that is so often condemned in school environments. Love that.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is, you are barking up my tree, girl. This is my geeky side comes out. I love that.
We love it. Amazing. She writes, anyways, this story took place in my modern dance class in November of 2020. I was very fortunate to have my dance courses in person at this time when so many students were learning virtually. However, this day, I wish that we were virtual.
Uh-oh.
I got dressed for class in a pair of my favorite seamless leggings. Now, this may be TMI, but it's crucial information to the story. I don't wear underwear with my seamless leggings, and I'm not sorry about it. It's just not comfortable to me. I lived close enough to campus where I could walk to class. However, in New England, and with it being November, it was at least 20 degrees outside. So at the very last minute, I decided to throw some sweatpants on over my leggings to walk to class. She has in parentheses, thank God. We started every class with a whole group warm-up stretch led by our professor. It was the same thing every class, so I had the routine nearly memorized by now. We got to the point in our warm-up where we are all sitting in a straddle position, legs open to the side to stretch our inner thighs. The top of my legs rolled down a bit, so I bent to adjust them. When I looked in the mirror and saw a gaping hole in the crotch of my leggings. And just to remind you, I don't wear underwear with my seamless leggings. I immediately closed my legs and froze. I had no idea what to do. My whole hoo-ha was literally out. I ran to my backpack and threw on my sweatpants that I had almost decided against before leaving my apartment. I don't think any of my fellow classmates noticed because we were all so spread out due to COVID restrictions at the time. However, my professor had been circling the room and walked by me multiple times that day, and I had no idea how long my leggings had been ripped. So there's a pretty good chance my professor got to know me on a whole new level that day. I finished my class in my sweatpants and immediately called my mom to tell her what happened as soon as I walked out of the dance studio. She was laughing so hard that she physically choked. To this day, I still don't know for sure if my professor saw. Maybe I'll finally get the courage to ask now that I'm graduating, haha. And no, I still don't wear underwear with my seamless leggings. It's just not comfortable. So if my leggings rip and people see my hoo-ha, well, there you go. Thank you, girls, for taking the time to read my story. I hope it was entertaining for you, as it has been for everyone else that I've told it to. I know you guys both like pictures, so I've attached one.
Oh my gosh, you are
There
gorgeous.
She is.
Beautiful.
There she is. I mean, I think it's safe to say your professor 1,000% saw and just didn't know what to say.
I mean,
Because you
Unless,
said
yeah.
circled the room multiple times and like helped the girl stretch.
Usually you would help from, oh yeah, maybe you do.
I mean, if it were me, I wouldn't know what to say.
Like
Or I'd throw a towel.
The female organ down there is just not ever something that I feel like anyone would want to like make eye contact with.
Yeah, it's
So
not
like if it's your butt or like your butt crack or something, like even that is like, oh haha, embarrassing. But like,
But that's what I mean is I feel like if there was a hole that was around her butt area, I'd be more inclined to be like, oh honey.
Yeah.
But that's such a private thing that I wouldn't really know, especially as a professor, what to say. Because you're like you wouldn't, I don't know. It's risky and I wouldn't know what to do. So I wouldn't be shocked if a professor saw.
Oh,
Dear God.
That's so awkward.
Oh, so
Hopefully
it's titled, I think my professor saw my lady bits.
Hopefully it was like, I mean, I think you would feel like a breeze down there. So hopefully it wasn't like, it was like a newer one.
I'm assuming it was newer because, and I say this because if you put sweatpants over, I feel like you would feel that.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it depends on how baggy your sweatpants are.
Yeah.
But I feel like you would feel the fabric.
Some friction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Oof. I have never been one that can like free ball it. Like I just don't like the feeling at all. Like I cannot. I've never been able to.
Really?
And I remember it was funny. Like there was like this period of time in high school where, you know, like when you're younger, like all of a sudden something's cool, like out of nowhere. It'll be like, oh, everyone's wearing like this type of thing. Or like everyone, like, you know, in 21 Jump Street, it's like, no, it's one shoulder. Oh, now two shoulders is cool with the backpack.
Yeah.
Like there was a period of time where I don't know if it's like girls are trying to seem like sexy, but they would say like, oh, I'm not wearing any underwear. So I remember like one day being like, I'm going to not wear underwear. And it was the most miserable day of my life. I hated it. I hate it.
Yeah.
I don't like the feeling.
I mean, I don't know.
I do it.
You're
a free baller.
Like it, but I don't. It's not. I do think it's something that you can't do it in jeans. You can't. There's specific ways you can and can't do it, and obviously for girls, you can only. It's hard.
Yeah.
On certain times of the month.
Yeah.
But we're getting off track here.
What are we talking about? Hi, Dad. No, I'm just kidding.
It's 90% of the time I'm just lounging at home or running errands. I'm not like anywhere out.
We get it.
Okay.
It's fine. Jeez. Okay.
Why are we
getting to know Taryne and Ashley
on a whole new level?
Whole new level.
Should we take a poll about this later? Have you ever had one of those moments where you realize it's time to find a new place? At apartments.com, they call it an out-of-apartment experience. It can be life-altering, like finding out your little family is growing, or something more life-annoying, like dealing with a broken change machine at the laundromat. If you find yourself in an out-of-apartment experience, start your search for a new place on apartments.com. They've helped millions of renters find their perfect place to live. And their powerful search tools help you find a listing that check all your boxes. So take a moment and check out apartments.com, the place to find a place.
Today's episode of Unsolicited Advice is brought to you by Simply Safe Home Security. Here at Unsolicited Advice, we believe home should be the safest place on earth for every family. That's why we use and recommend Simply Safe. Simply Safe is advanced home security that puts you, your home, and your family's safety first. And here's why we love it. The thing that always gets me about Simply Safe and makes it just the best option is it has 24/7 professional monitoring. Simply Safe's agents take action the moment a threat is detected, dispatching police or first responders in an emergency, even if you're not home. Simply Safe offers comprehensive protection not only against intruders and burglary, but against expensive home hazards from flooding to fires. Simply Safe uses proprietary video verification technology technology so that monitoring agents can visually confirm the threat in order to get higher priority 911 dispatch. Monitoring plans are affordably priced at $1 a day with no long-term contract or hidden fees, because feeling safe at home shouldn't break the bank. You can customize the perfect system for your home in just a few minutes at simplysafe.com/advice. Go today and claim a free indoor security camera plus 20% off with interactive monitoring. Go to simplysafe.com/advice.
We are sponsored by Best Fiends.
So I don't know about you guys, but once I get into something, I have a really hard time when I can't get more and more of it. Say, for instance, you're obsessed with a new game on your phone, but once you get to a certain level, it just stops and you're left being like, hi, I'm not done yet. Well, that is not the case with Best Fiends, because enough is never enough with them. There's always more puzzles and more fun just around the corner. There's so many things I love about this game. I'm really into puzzles, so it definitely hits that spot for me. But also there's new characters, new levels. There's just so much that keeps you entertained, and it never stops. You can collect tons of fiends and get them powered up as you play more levels. Every win brings new challenges, and there are thousands of puzzles to play. Once you download Best Fiends, you can play anywhere, even without internet connection, which is amazing if you have no Wi-Fi. With thousands of levels, there's always more to play.
And new in-game events are added all the time. I'm currently obsessed with Daffodil Dash. Before that, I was playing the Pirates one. It just keeps you on your toes and keeps new things coming your way, which we love. Download Best Fiends for free from the App Store or Google Play. Plus, earn even more with $5 worth of in-game rewards when you reach level 5. That's friends without the R. Best Fiends.
I'm going to get into my story. And this is going to be interesting because this is actually a very close friend.
Oh, shoot.
Which
Drama.
the second I start reading it, you're going to know who I'm talking about, Ash.
Oh, interesting.
So it'll be interesting because I feel like obviously I've already given my friend advice.
Yes.
But like it'll be interesting if there's a difference how we give advice when we like know personally and know the story.
Yeah.
Versus like where we're trying to be careful of like what we can and can't say, you know?
Right. 100%.
Because she said she was going to write in and I was like, okay.
Do your thing, girl.
The world's going to know. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Hi, ladies. I love you both very much. We love you too.
I don't know who it is.
I'm writing to ask for advice about something I never thought I would need help with.
Ooh.
I had been with my boyfriend for roughly 7, 8, might as well have been 9 years. We've known each other for 9, but had 2 periods of breaks over that time. He recently ended our relationship because of 2 reasons. 1, he doesn't know who he is anymore, and he needs to focus on finding that out. 2, he no longer wants to get married ever or have kids, a family. I think that as sudden as this was, we were at a point where it was either get engaged or break up. I just never saw the breaking up as a reality. Now that it is, I'm struggling in weird ways. I deal with intense physical anxiety symptoms when I'm in a bad place, and the last month has been a lot. I think my body knew my life was shifting before he or I ever did. I was in pain every day for weeks from daily panic attacks, and it even manifested in extremely high fevers that took me out for almost a week. The only thing that healed me was my relationship ending. I was able to finally get all the answers to questions I had been fearing for so long. I finally had clarity and my pain went away and hasn't come back. For so long, I felt like he didn't love me and I was doing all that I could to fix that or change what I felt was quote unquote off. When in reality, he was struggling as well and just had to get to a place where he could see clearly and realize what he wanted and needed for himself. It sucks that it doesn't line up with what I want or how I thought our lives were going to play out, but here we are. Some time has gone by now. He has moved out of our house we lived in. We have met up once to discuss logistics that we still have together. We share a phone bill, a storage unit, and our 3-year-old dog. The dog.
Yeah.
We both want what's best for him because we have always treated him like our own child. He even acts like a human too. My ex wants to continue financially helping and splitting costs as well as being a part of his life. He wants to co-parent as much as possible so that his life isn't completely thrown off. I'm okay with that. My biggest fear was that he would want nothing to do with the dog and be gone forever. I think we can actually co-parent and make it work. It's just a weird thing to adjust to. The other issue we came across was our friend group. We share the same friends. His friends are married to mine, and we are a part of our friends' kids' lives. It's all connected. We sat down together and talked at length about what we want. He doesn't want to be out of my life for good. He wants to try to coexist. He wants to be able to be at birthday parties and get-togethers with all of our friends and be okay. I agreed because I think I do want that. I don't want to shut someone out that's been a part of my life for almost a decade. Is that bad? I think the thing that guided me the most during this conversation was how I physically felt during it. I had zero anxiety. My heart didn't even race when I saw him. I was calm, aside from not being able to stop tearing up when we talked about our dog. I've never experienced this much peace during a breakup. I think what I need advice on is how do I tackle starting over now? I'm turning 32 soon, and I thought I would be married by the time I was 33. I had someone I was living with, and now I'm almost 32, living with my mom and 2 younger brothers. I feel like I've started over, and that's the part I'm struggling with the most. It's terrifying out in the world, and I was so happy and content where I was. I hope this makes sense considering I'm still not even sure how I'm feeling, and what I'm thinking. Thank you for listening, and I appreciate you both so much.
Oof. 9 years.
It's so hard watching anyone go through a breakup, but I still remember exactly where I was when she texted me what happened. And I physically just felt sick to my stomach because when you get like that kind of front row seat in someone's life, you know, like you're so sad for the things that make them sad. So to watch a friend go through a breakup is just, it's so hard to know exactly what to say, what they need, because you want to say things that are going to make them feel better. But what's the typical response? Like, you're going to be okay. You're so strong. Like, this just means someone better is out there. And all those things are so true. But in the moment, it just doesn't help.
Well, again, 9 years. This isn't someone that broke up after 6 months or a year where, you know, they liked each other and that was really it. Like this person intertwined her life with someone else for 9 years. That she's mourning something. It's not a little breakup. Even like a 3-year relationship doesn't compare to what this girl's going through. Like, it's completely different. And sometimes I think with stuff like this, it's better to not say anything. Yeah. Because it's a loss. Yeah. And it's almost better to just be there. Yeah. You know, there's nothing to say, really.
And it's, you know, it's funny because, you know, every breakup is different, right? Like every breakup has a different core reason why a relationship is ending. And with this one, you know, obviously, like, my initial response was like, I'm going to kill him, you know? And she, like, you know, laughed with me, all those things. But it's hard when the breakup comes from something like this where it's not, I think it's easier when they cheat or they like.
When they're douchebags and it's
so
like,
much
fine,
easier to
you're
just
the worst.
Hate them and to like be like, don't ever come around me. But I think for this, you know, obviously we've had vent sessions. We've had sessions where she's crying and like wishing like well for him. But, you know, for me, I think the part that I have the hardest time with in this situation is how do you let something get 9 years into it where you're basically planning to propose before you have these ginormous realizations. Yeah. Like, not only just like, I get that I don't really know myself, and I think that there are relationships that you can successfully take breaks if they're productive. Like, for me, I would be like, oh, you feel like you need some self-discovery. Like, why don't you like take a month, like take a trip, do what you got to do. Like, I'll give you some space to work through what you're doing. Go to counseling, like talk to your friends, whatever. Because obviously if I'm with a person, I want to support whatever growth they need.
Right. And 9 years, you are going to 9 years down the road be with someone different than who you started out the relationship with.
Yes. But for you to be 9 years into a relationship where you're constantly talking about your future, getting married, having kids, like you basically already are like have this family unit. You live together. You have this dog that you consider your kid. And then to throw out, oh, by the way, I don't ever see myself getting married or having kids. Like that is the biggest like mind where like how can you not just sit there and be like, what is happening?
Well, I think that
what is happening?
that goes to show that this is on him.
Oh, 1,000%. Yeah.
This guy clearly let's say that this feeling of not wanting to get married has, let's pretend it's like always been there. That means he's physically been like pushing off these feelings for years.
Yeah.
You know?
Which is not fair.
No.
Yeah.
No. That's cruel.
Totally.
That's cruel. And if that's the person who this person is, who this guy is, then anonymous dodged a mother forking bullet.
Yeah.
Like if imagine being in a marriage with someone who is constantly pushing off
and like
issues,
resenting
real issues, you know? If he just now came to the realization that he doesn't want to be married and have kids, even though he's had conversations with you, then that just goes to show the type of person he actually is. He could be a great person.
Yeah.
But he is nowhere near ready for a committed relationship.
Yeah.
And he's just now figuring that out.
Yeah.
Okay. How old are we?
And also
that's something you figure out pretty early on,
or
and
it
way
comes
before
from,
9 years.
Yeah, it comes from like something crazy happening to where you're like, oh, I don't think I want this.
Yeah,
you know?
And if you don't see yourself being with someone, you figure that out year 1, year 2.
Yeah,
you know, if you're pushing 4 years, you're basically saying, okay, I want to live life with you.
Yeah.
You know, like we get along, everything's working. Like I'm in this. 9, there might as well be a ring on your finger.
I feel like too. I'm not undermining what he's saying and his emotions.
No, clearly,
you know, guys,
homeboy has feelings.
I am practicing so much restraint by trying to be professional in the way that I'm addressing this. Because right now, I am a friend who is watching a friend be hurt. So I don't care. Like, what is the mature whatever? When Mama Bear comes out, she's going for blood and to protect. So I'm having a hard time, but I will restraint. I'm not undermining his feelings. And if that really is the way he feels, then obviously like I feel for him because I think he's obviously got a lot of searching and he's trying to figure out himself. But I also know him, and I have a really hard time believing that is his future. Like, I see him as a husband. I see him as being a great dad. So I just feel like, to me, I think sometimes we go through these identity things in our life. And to me, I feel like this was a very rash, like, okay, I don't think I want any of this and I'm throwing it out versus being like, okay, I've spent 9 years cultivating a relationship. Maybe I need to take a step back and do some like figuring out. Yeah. Which like maybe you need to get your own apartment and like start dating again. Maybe you need to like
maybe you guys got comfortable.
Yeah, or maybe
like,
there are some serious issues there that like we've got to discuss. But for me, what I have a hard time with is this poor girl for months has been feeling something's off and he's been dismissing her. So she's like having anxiety, she's feeling this tension, she's feeling the separation. And when you are in a relationship, you don't have a right to just like drag someone along while you figure stuff out without bringing them into the light of what's going on.
Well, exactly. And if let's say he did just all of a sudden start feeling this way, for him to drop and completely cut off this relationship out of nowhere, again, anonymous, dodged a mother forking bullet.
Yeah.
Like if he can suddenly feel something and then just say peace out to you.
Yeah.
then you don't want to build a life with this person to begin with.
Yeah.
And looking forward, I'm honestly, and I know this person, but nowhere near as close as Taryne knows this person. So maybe I have it from like more of an outsider's perspective because I don't know him that well.
Mm-hmm.
But you have been living your life around this person for 9 years. You've been planning, you've been coordinating, every decision you've made for the last 9 years has involved this person.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, right now, you are given an opportunity to make the future whatever you want it to be. And I think this next, I mean, I will go ahead and say it. It's going to take you a while to get over this. This is a long time. The next foreseeable future is about you pouring into yourself and taking care of yourself and doing things you've always wanted and not having to report to anyone or include anyone or plan your life around anyone. If you want to go, like, for me, something that's always been healing for me has been traveling. If you want to go to freaking Italy by yourself right now, guess what? You can. And you don't have to ask anyone for permission or approval.
Like, be crazy, like, make stupid decisions, like, have fun with your life. Yeah.
Wake up at like 4 a.m. Go to the beach and journal. Just because. And don't tell anyone. You know, go for a drive at like midnight. And go like chase the moon. And don't tell a soul, because you don't have to, because you're an adult who's, you can go by yourself and go live your life. Go listen to a record in your room on the floor and cry and don't have to tell anyone what's going on. What a beautiful place to be in your life. And I think you might have possibly missed out on that for a while. And now you get to like feed into your soul. This is an eat, pray, love moment for you.
Yeah.
Today's episode is brought to you by Indeed. When you want to improve your work life, you surround yourself with the best people you can find. So how do you find them? You need Indeed. Indeed is the hiring platform where you can attract, interview, and hire in all one place. Instead of spending hours on multiple job sites searching for candidates with the right skills, Indeed's a powerful hiring partner that can help you do it all. Find great talent faster through time-saving tools like Indeed Instant Match, assessments, and virtual interviews. With Instant Match, over 80% of employers get quality candidates whose resume on Indeed matches their job description the moment they sponsor a job, according to Indeed Data US. One of the things I think is just elite about Indeed is it makes it easy to connect with your applicants. No need to install anything extra. Indeed's virtual interviews work from your browser. Even better, Indeed's the only job site where you can pay for applications that meet your must-have requirements. Indeed is an unbelievably powerful hiring partner, delivering 4 times more hires than all other job sites combined, according to Talent Nest 2019. Sign up for Indeed now and get a $75 credit towards your first sponsored job. Plus, earn up to $500 extra in sponsored job credits with Indeed's virtual interviews. Visit Indeed.com/advice to learn more. Claim your credits at Indeed.com/advice. Indeed.com/advice. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed. Today's episode is brought to you by Liquid IV. So I feel like everyone in my life has always told me I need to drink more water, specifically our dearest Ash Nicole over there, but I just struggle with it. And when I first learned about Liquid IV, I was so pumped because they basically do the work for you. 1 stick of Liquid IV hydration multiplier in 16 ounces of water hydrates you 2 times faster and more effectively than water alone. It's basically like water's best friend, you know? It comes in great flavors like watermelon, lemon lime, strawberry, pina colada, and more. So not only does it taste amazing, but it makes you feel great and hydrated and energized and just ready to attack the day. And of course, it's made with premium ingredients, non-GMO, free from gluten, dairy, and soy. And if you're like me and you're like, what makes Liquid IV so effective? It's the science of cellular transport technology designed to enhance rapid absorption of water and other key ingredients into the bloodstream. Grab Liquid IV in bulk nationwide at Costco, or you can get 25% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use code ADVICE at checkout. That's 25% off anything you order when you use promo code ADVICE at liquidiv.com. Experience better hydration today at liquidiv.com, promo code ADVICE.
I fully agree, and that's what's so hard is like when you're a friend of someone going through a breakup and you acknowledge what they're going through, but it is interesting when you're on the outside and you can see that perspective, because that's when I look at her and I look at, she has gone through so much in her life in these past few years, and I just see where like everything in her life is lining up towards these right directions. And yeah, this is a huge hit because that was one of the things lining up. Like they were set to be engaged within the year. That's a hit. But I think that also like, I think stuff has been orchestrating and getting together. And the fact that even like your body felt peace during this breakup, that anyone else, like I would be like on the floor unconscious if someone said that to me, right? But I think that this is a time where you need to focus on yourself. And I really admire the both of you for being like, oh, we're gonna still be in each other's lives. We're gonna still whatever. However, and yes, this is me being protective, but I've been in that place where I was like, oh yeah, this is fine. Like everything will be fine. And I think sometimes that does so much more damage of you trying to force yourself into that when you have every right to just be mad and not want to see this person.
Yeah.
So I think that you really need to listen to yourself of what is right for you. And his feelings and what he wants is no longer your obligation to care about.
Yeah.
Obviously,
you have zero responsibility for his feelings.
Obviously, like, you don't want to be a cruel human being, but at the same time, like, you need to do what's best for you. And if he's still picking up the dog or doing whatever, that's great. But I think your time of taking care of this person is done. And I think you need to focus on yourself and letting yourself heal and move forward.
Yeah. I think the idea of staying friends is sweet. I think it's very unrealistic.
Yeah.
I think, after a certain amount of time, going to hang out at a friend's house and seeing him there is going to get really old really fast. You're not going to want to see him.
Well,
I don't see that going well at all.
Yeah.
So I don't think we should even plan for that. This is me speaking from my own personal experience. I would cut him off, and not in a to get back at him way or to make you feel better way, but to protect yourself, because even this might sound controversial, but even sharing the custody of the dog and like stuff like that, I wouldn't give him an opportunity to see you when doing that. Like if he wants to come like pick him up, like he can, but I personally I think I would have to protect myself from seeing my ex. If he needs to pick up the dog from a friend or from a family member, that's fine. But like I wouldn't even allow myself interacting even because of the dog, because I personally would start looking forward to interacting, or I would start daydreaming about, oh, well, I'm going to see him. I'm probably going to brush my hair or put on a little bit of lip gloss. Do I want to put myself in that headspace? No.
Yeah.
So I personally recommend space before even entertaining the idea of maintaining a friendship.
And I will say she's handled this like a breeze. Like she's been very mature and like, okay, we'll see each other. And she's doing great. But I do think that subconsciously, when you put yourself in positions, it's hard not to get your hopes up. Yes. It's hard not to be like
wanting to look good,
oh,
maybe.
was he staring at me a little bit longer?
Did he touch my lower back a little longer than like normal, or did he like when he hugged me, was it a long like that puts you in such a vulnerable place?
Yeah. So I think with every breakup there needs to be a healthy amount of time that there's space
to prepare you for seeing each other.
Well, too, when you're trying to play it like, oh, we're cool and we're just like a normal couple and we're around, I think sometimes that makes you think you have to be in that headspace. And then when you're not, like when you're not feeling good, it's like you have this, you're trying to force yourself to just be fine and okay.
But I'm cool.
When
I'm
really,
cool.
if you want to come to your friends and just talk crap about him, like you have a right to do that. That's like comes with the territory. So I just think this is such a hard situation. And I think I can see possibilities of you guys being in each other's lives and coexisting. But I do think that you deserve to give yourself space to just be with yourself and to not have to be reminded of him all the time.
Yeah. And I think
That's
it's
what
a
I'm saying.
good thing to
Just
remember.
being a little protective
Absolutely.
of that beautiful heart. Okay?
Yeah. And I think it's a really good thing to remember that what he did was very shitty.
Yeah.
It was poorly planned out. And essentially, if we're going to be blunt, he wasted 9 years of your life.
Well, so that's an
right?
interesting thing because I know that like that feeling came up and was met with like just heartbroken of like this wasn't a waste. Like we had a beautiful life together. Things have just changed. And so that's a hard dynamic to, I think with any breakup, that's what comes up is you feeling like, oh my, that's how I felt with my ex. Like 4 years of my life, like, and my prime years, like my college years where I could have been like going out and meeting new people and doing all these things. And I spent all this time planning my life with you. And then now I'm like starting over from scratch.
Yeah.
So it's easy to feel that. But I think with time, you start to see like, oh my gosh, I would have never gotten through the things that I went through if I didn't have this person by my side. And I was a person for them and at times they had. So it's like you tend to, when you get past it, be thankful for those times.
Yeah.
But it's hard when you're like, I literally thought I was done. And now I have to go date with this terrifying dating app age. Like, no, thank you.
Yeah, she wasn't even a part of to begin with.
Yeah. Yeah.
It wasn't
Have
even a
fun
thing.
with that. No, I've been joking with her about that.
It was, what was that? Like, singles online internet.
Oh, it was nothing. You just met people.
No, there was, what was it? What was it? I can't think. There was an old, like the original online dating site. It wasn't an app. Like it was a site.
eHarmony?
Maybe. No, there was another one. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But like that's all that was around back then. And that was it, which is wild.
You know
But
what?
and maybe I should have worded it better. I'm not saying that your relationship was a waste. However,
you're like, that's a chunk of my life.
Where would your life be if you weren't planning it with someone else for 9 years? Who knows?
Yeah.
Like there's so many, so to a degree, I don't think we should downplay that there was something wasted. Maybe I still think you guys had a beautiful relationship and that's great and you learned from it and all of those things, but I don't think we should take away what he did, and it was very cruel of what he did was wrong.
This was a
I'm glad
massive
you finally came
curveball.
out with it, but like he handled that so wrong, and I don't think we should diminish what he did, and I think we should really give ourselves space and maybe not for the next foreseeable future plan things around him because I don't know that he deserves that.
Yeah. Well, it's hard when like this ginormous topic comes up in your breakup conversation. Like it's not like we talked about this and now let's kind of process
You don't
through.
want to like go talk about this first and even see if maybe
it
I'm
just seemed
cool with
so
not.
like
what if he had this conversation and she was like, actually I don't care to get married, I just want to be with you.
Yeah.
He not that that's what she's at, but like he didn't even give her a chance to chat about it.
Well, yeah, because when when your lives are so intertwined with a person, their issues become yours, right? Yeah. So how do you deal with all of a sudden where it's someone saying, no, I have my own issues and I don't want this and leaving, and you're sitting there like, whoa, I had zero control in what just happened. Mm-hmm. And most of us have a semi-tiny control issue of like needing to feel control for like security. So how do you deal with that? And even though I think she's at peace because obviously she had been feeling that tension.
Her gut clearly knew.
I mean, it must still be just like, I'm sure she's still going to go through many waves of different emotions coming from this. Mm-hmm. So I think I'm excited for her in her life.
1000%.
And I think that with any breakup, like we've said so many times, this next season, just dedicate so much love and time and support to yourself. Surround yourself by friends. Tell your friends what you need. like up front, be like, hey, I want to talk crap. Hey, I don't want to talk crap. Like whatever you need.
And it's okay to go back and forth.
Yeah, let people know.
You can hang out with your girlfriends one day and talk.
Yeah.
And then the very next day be like, listen, don't say anything mean.
No, totally.
Like, but it doesn't matter.
In what you're asking advice on, I think that you guys, maybe there is that out there in the future of coexisting and being peaceful and whatever.
No.
I'm not saying that's not a possibility, but I do think that you need a beat to just be with yourself, to process, to refine your own foundation before you start to build a new type of friendship with him. Like, I think you deserve time to just focus on yourself. That's all I'm saying.
1,000%. I completely agree. I think we need to stop giving him what he wants, maybe.
Yeah.
Because he no longer deserves that. He's not your person anymore.
Yeah, you don't have to. You just have to worry about what makes you feel good or bad.
If he wants to see the dog, he can come get the dog.
Yeah.
But are you going to go, he hurt you. And let's not forget that. So let's take care of ourselves first before entertaining any possible idea of relationship.
Yeah.
Friendship, whatever.
Oof.
I hate that.
We're triggered.
It's just, this is the kind of stuff. How old is she? Almost 32?
Yeah.
And he's the same age?
Yeah.
It feels like something a 23-year-old, 21-year-old would say.
It is a very, like, when you're younger, you usually go through those.
That kind of breakup, what just happened to her, is the type of thing that happens when you're younger.
And still
when
figuring
you're dating,
yourself out. Yeah.
You're coming out of high school and your boyfriend breaks up with you because he was like, I just, I don't know that I want to get married. I'm like, of course you don't know. You're 23. Like, you're living life, You don't expect that from a grown-ass man.
Yeah.
So when that's his excuse or reason, it's just a little shocking because you're like, I'm sorry.
Which is
you didn't think this through?
Me, when she was telling me, I was like, huh?
You didn't think this through 4 years ago when we were halfway through our relationship?
I know. It's so hard because I genuinely love him too, but I am mad at him right now.
Figure it out.
Because, it's just hard to watch this happen. But I do
that scares me.
I think everything in life happens for a reason.
For sure.
And sometimes the most shocking things in life are like just curveballs thrown in there to set you on the course that you need to be on. So
unfortunately, I would agree. I feel like a lot of the best lessons, a lot of the things I've learned came from very dramatic, very unexpected, the biggest slap in the face. And you're sitting there like your head's still spinning and you're sitting here going, this is probably good.
Yeah.
Like I'm learning so much right now. And maybe this sets you up, like Taryne was saying, maybe this sets you up for something in the future. Like maybe whatever your next step is, you needed to be single for.
Yeah.
Maybe your next few years, you are focusing on your career and building that up for yourself, Or maybe someone else comes along and beyond the shadow of a doubt within the second you meet them that they're your person because you feel so taken care of and you never felt that before, you feel something different. You feel what was lacking in the last one. And maybe because of this past relationship, you can go into the next one and you'll know when it's right because it's so opposite of what you experienced in the past. There's so many reasons why.
Well, and if
this can help.
If you look at your life, when I think back on my life, and if you were to ask me, what are specific things that shifted you into who you are now? Most of them are negative.
Yeah.
Quote unquote negative, right?
That is almost always the case.
It's always something that literally knocks you on your butt.
Yeah.
And then the process of getting back up on your feet is so valuable. Whether it's after you got fired from a job, whether it's after you got dumped, whether it's after a loss in your life. The process of how we as human beings are just resilient and we take steps to pull ourselves back up, restructure, shift around things that need to be shifted, and then take that step forward. It always leads you to something that you were meant for.
Yeah. And I think it's so important that I'm not saying you have to do this alone, because definitely not. You can like have your girls around you, your family around you, your friends to support you and help you on this path. But I think it is so important that you do it yourself. Like you take the first step up. Like you start dusting off your own shoulders. You go to therapy. You set yourself up for a successful future by doing all of those things for yourself.
Yeah.
You know, don't let someone come do it for you. I agree. I think you need to have your support system, but I think it's so important that you take hold of your life, like by the reins, and you're in charge of the next step. Like that has to be from you, not someone else.
Yeah. And I think, what would you say, like in times in your life where you got like just the crap kicked out of you, like emotionally, mentally, what would you say is like your number one thing you would tell people in getting back up on your feet?
I think in this specific instance, and in actually just period, whether it was a breakup, a family thing, or a work thing, I've had a few instances in my life where I found myself sitting down and writing out what was bad and what was good. And,
interesting.
Kind of letting go of the bad and taking the good.
Interesting.
And I'm not a journaler. I've tried for years and it just never took. But every one of those serious moments, I ended up journaling during those times, those really stressful times. And I am very visual. So I think lists help me a lot. And seeing like, let's take the relationship, for example. Like I had a breakup with a guy, my like first love, and I had to write out like why we can't be together.
Yeah.
And then I had to take like write down like what was good about the relationship, what was bad, and I had to like let go of it. And same thing, there was one time when I was really happy with the job that I had and I thought I was moving forward, and then I had to quit and I ended up back at like my first job, and it felt like it's this whole like starting over thing, and I was devastated. And again, I had to do the same thing. Like there are so many reasons why I shouldn't be at that job. And I think it's good for me to see it physically.
That is really cool. I feel like that's brilliant, because I think so often when we do get like shocked in life, we either have one of two things, right? We marinate on what we're mad about and we just fixate and we're angry.
Which is good for a time.
Yeah. Or
a time.
We put things on pedestal and focus on, oh my gosh, but it was this, this, and this.
Yeah.
And almost like, you know, like put it into our minds in a way of then we're just longing for it, and we're convinced we could never have better because this was so good.
Yeah.
So I love how you wrote them down as a way of like expressing, like getting it out. And then you chose like, well, these were awesome things. Like no matter what, how toxic a relationship was, how unhealthy a job was, I still had valuable things that came from that that I can choose to take with me as I move forward
and
onto something new. Yeah.
Yeah. I think
I love that.
Something I've always struggled with, which you guys know me so well by now, is I'm not good at articulating, at speaking how I feel. So I think when I go through something very big and very life altering, it's very helpful for me, because I'm not good at talking about it, to write it down.
Yeah.
And I've said this again so many times, but I think people come in and out of your lives for a reason. And I think there's nothing wrong in looking at this 9-year relationship and being thankful for the good, but also being okay with looking at the bad and being like, yeah, I don't need that.
Yeah.
You know?
It's amazing when I refused to admit in my relationship that anything was wrong, because I was so protective of wanting it to be this beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I had space from being broken up with that I looked back and I was like, what am I so sad about? Like it was so blatantly clear that is not something that I want.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of moving forward. And it'll be interesting, like with every breakup, like what clarity she's going to get months from now. Like once she gives herself space to not worry about anyone or to worry about having to be cool around
his
him,
reputation,
like she just,
you know?
I think she needs like a bubble to process, and it'll be interesting. I remember one of my last conversations with my ex, he was like, how are you doing? And I was like, I'm good. And then I was like, I think I really needed space. And he interrupted me and finished my sentence. And he said, oh, to like work on your insecurities. Because that was always his number one thing of why we had issues, was because I'm insecure. So I really struggled for years thinking I was an insecure person. And then I realized, no, I was just being treated in a way I shouldn't have. And
You
I
were
was
insecure
sad.
because he was making
Creating
you feel
that.
insecure.
And I remember I looked at him and I kind of smiled and I was like, no, that's not what I was going to say. I was going to say, I had space to take you off of the pedestal that I put you on.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember he just looked at me like, oh,
Yeah.
but it was true. It was like, no, I needed space to realize I was giving you power and influence on me that like you did not work for, like you did
But
not
also,
deserve.
maybe a power that no one person should have.
Exactly.
And I think, love does things to you. And that's why I think that it sounds fine to be friends right now, because you guys are comfortable with each other. You guys have a life together and you want that, you do love him. You still love him. But I think that's going to change in the future.
Yeah. And like,
just because you feel it now doesn't mean that that'll be there in
and
3
take
months.
that pressure off of
Yeah.
having to either be one or the other, and just let yourself be like, I am going through a breakup. Like, let me process.
Yeah.
And then I'll figure out what is best for me
Maybe
when
you
that
want to
comes.
share custody now.
Yeah.
Maybe in 3 months you don't want to see his face.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't hang out with him or ever see him for 6 months, and then one day you're ready.
Yeah. And you're like, hey, like,
There is no rule book on how this works.
Yeah.
And to pretend that there is one is just going to hurt yourself, because you're going to have to like pretend like you're fine, or you're going to, have to like fake a smile in like a room full of people that you don't want to be there with your ex. So I think moving forward, check in with yourself every day.
Yeah.
And just see where that leads you, because I think focusing on yourself for the next foreseeable future is going to be game changing. And I think where you find yourself might even shock you if you allow yourself to just take one day at a time.
Yeah. I mean, like with all of you, when we talk about your stories, and, we're so particular about our UA fam, like we just love you guys all so much. But I really do believe that everyone is their own catch. And I think when people leave our lives, I think it's okay and it's sad and you mourn it, but ultimately that's that person's loss, and you're going to find a person who's going to stay and who's going to want the same things as you and do the work to stay with you and make a healthy relationship. And that's the person that you're going to be so excited to like put all your effort back into,
Yeah.
So every time a door closes, I think that's just a sign that, we're going in the wrong direction, you know?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm
was
so
great.
sorry you're going through this.
Yes. I love you, girl. I'm going to call you right after this and tell you what we talked about. Well, thank you so much for writing in. It's funny, there's been a couple times where someone was telling me about something and I was like, I think because my mentality, I love our podcast so much that there's certain times where I'm like, oh, you should write in. Like, we should talk about that on the podcast.
I literally just had a chat with a friend of mine, and she started up this, she was explaining the situation she's in, and it sparked this whole conversation. And I, at the end, was like, listen, if you feel comfortable, please write it in, because it was just such a great topic. And I was like, this makes me question a lot, and I love that. It's so fun. So I've done that multiple times. And I just recently did it yesterday.
Love that. Love that. Well, to everyone who's going through a breakup, we love you. Take time.
I'm so sorry.
Take time. Do what's best for you.
Focus on you. Eat, pray, love, baby.
Yeah, literally what makes you happy. Like, find what makes you happy and do it, and
Pasta.
refill. Eat,
Wine.
pray, and love people.
Coffee.
I read that book all the time when I'm sad, because it makes me like
so good.
re-inspired.
So good.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So stupid. Okay. I used to have a job at a calendar factory, but I got fired because I took a couple days off.
My God. That was bad.
It's good.
All right, guys.
Good.
You made it to the dad joke. That means you are the absolute best. We love you so much. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. We'll talk to you guys soon on the next episode, which will be coming on Monday.
Yeah, well.
Every Monday.
Every Monday.
Or Monday.
Or Monday.
All right.
That's so
Okay.
weird.
Okay. Love you. Bye. Have you ever had one of those moments where you realize it's time to find a new place? At apartments.com, they call it an out-of-apartment experience. Maybe you're lugging the trash bag down a 6th floor walk-up when it bursts open right as you reach the dumpster. Or it could strike the second you realize the change machine at the laundromat is broken. Or maybe it hits when you receive some life-altering news, like finding out you're going to be a parent. The first thing to do after an out-of-apartment experience is start your search for a new place on apartments.com. They've helped millions of renters find their perfect place to live, whether it's an apartment, townhome, condo, or even a house. And with their 3D virtual tours, you can scour every inch of a listing because sometimes 2 dimensions just aren't enough. The features don't end there. Apartments.com also has powerful search tools that help you find a place that meets all your requirements. So when you're having one of those moments, take a moment and check out apartments.com, the place to find a place.
Today's episode is brought to you by Liquid IV. Just 1 stick of Liquid IV in 16 ounces of water hydrates faster and more effectively than water alone. It contains 5 essential vitamins like B3, B5, B6, B12, and vitamin C, and has 3 times the electrolytes of traditional sports drinks. And of course, for me, I'm so bad at drinking water, and Liquid IV has come in clutch for me. But if something doesn't taste good, I cannot do it. And Liquid IV hydration has just the most amazing flavors like watermelon, lemon lime, strawberry, pina colada, and more. My personal favorite is strawberry, so definitely try it. And Liquid IV is also on a mission to change the world and has donated over 20 million serving globally. Grab Liquid IV in bulk nationwide at Costco, or you can get 25% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use code ADVICE at checkout. That's 25% off anything you order when you use promo code ADVICE at liquidiv.com. Experience better hydration today at liquidiv.com, promo code ADVICE.